Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm back. This is video 116 of 365. I'm Samantha, and I'm a therapist, and I'm doing a video every day for a year to get over my fear of public speaking and social anxiety. And on this channel, if you're new here, I love to talk about how to get you feeling the best you've ever felt, changing your old story to the new story so you can change from your old self to your new self. And I have tons of techniques and things we can talk about, but I like to keep it really simple. And I thought I'd just do a shorter video tonight because I've got a client call later in the evening tonight. So I just wanted to get this done and get it out there. And so wanted to talk about pain. I had a lot of sessions today where we talked about pain, like the familiar feeling of pain, and how it's so hard for us to move from pain to love or pain to just feeling better in general. And we're so addicted to the familiar feelings that we've always felt. So I just really want you guys to remember that everything that you're thinking right now and feeling and believing is programmed from the past. And so it's familiar. So our brain is just going to go that way because it's programmed and it's just very familiar. So the feelings of ecstasy and passion and excitement, it's like we don't feel those on a daily basis always. And so we have to create them. And no one ever taught us that we had to create our feelings. They just kind of happened to us, it felt like, because we were creating everything by default. It was just our default programming, basically. And so now we've got to reset the program. If we just look at it like that, like make this very simple. You're feeling the way you're feeling because you've always felt that way, and it's programmed that way. And then you thought so many thoughts over and over that they became beliefs, and they turned into this big belief system that just went along with you your whole life. And it's so familiar, and we're used to feeling that way that we just stay there. And so we have to consciously be aware of what we're thinking and what we're feeling and what we actually believe and assume about ourselves and then others. And I, of course, like to just work on the self first, which I've got a few people that are excited about me doing a specific person video, which I will be doing those eventually. But I love to stick with the self so much. And I promise you the relationship stuff is super, super fun and super, super exciting. I love to talk about that too. So I will get there, I promise. But I love to stick with the self first because nothing feels better than when you feel better about yourself. And then when you create that relationship with someone else and you meet that person or bring somebody from the past back in, you're just feeling so good inside that you're the best partner ever for them. And things just look different and feel different because you're different. So that's why I like to stick with self-concept and working on yourself from the inside out, because you can create peace from within, and that is priceless. No one can give you that feeling. And if they do give you that feeling, it's just because you aligned with that feeling inside yourself. It wasn't actually them creating it for you. You just were able to align with that feeling in yourself. And we only want what we think we want because we think we're going to feel better when we have it. So my number one recommendation is always to go inside yourself and give it to yourself first. And then you can create and generate those feelings from within. And during your day, you can kind of revisit those memories that you've created, because every time you imagine something, your brain's like, oh, this is a memory. I could go back to this at any point. And so it's a memory. It's in there now. It's in the files. It's in the archives. You can go back anytime you want to and retrieve it. And then boom, you've got this newly generated feeling that you could go back to during your day, whenever you're feeling down or you're having a painful moment. And if you just gently remind yourself that when you're feeling down, it's just because you're used to it. And this is how I really got out of these feelings, was I gently guided myself away from the feeling. And I was like, okay, I'm feeling down. And I'm just used to feeling this way so much that I feel down when I think of this subject. And so I'm going to gently just guide myself to this other subject. And I would just start thinking about something else. And that really worked more than anything, I promise. I mean, and it's the identity shift as well. It's like when you say, I'm ready to become a different person, then you do what's necessary to become that person. You've got to want this. You've got to decide within yourself that, hey, I'm ready for a change. I've got to identify that these thoughts I've been thinking are only programmed. I'm just used to feeling them. And there's also something that I want you to think about. It's almost like a lot of people are scared of letting go of their pain because it's so familiar to them. They're scared of what love would feel like. And love is like the highest frequency of feeling. So is appreciation. These feelings are, and passion, they're all just the highest frequency. They're at the highest level. And so to feel those things, I think people are scared sometimes because, I always hear that, when is the other shoe going to drop? Or is someone going to take away this feeling as soon as I create it? And the answer to that is no. You have the power to keep that feeling within you at all times. You can create that and generate that from just using your imagination, because remember, your imagination is being used all day long on the past crap, if we want to call it crap. It's the past. It's your imagination is just creating it over and over and over. So you might as well use it productively and on something that serves you, something that feels good to you, instead of harming yourself by going back to the painful thoughts. So that's how I want you to look at this is, if I want to create these new feelings for myself and I want to become this new self, I've got to gently guide myself away from the hot stove. I've said this before. You can touch the hot stove or you can plop up there and sit on it if you want to and burn the heck out of your butt. Or you gently guide yourself to a different area, and you got to do it deliberately. You got to sometimes just radically shift. You got to just say, I'm going to think about my third grade soccer team that I was on or something, and we won the game, and like the excitement of that. I mean, it could be some random memory that just pops up and you go back to that feeling, or you create something brand new. You just think about a totally different subject. Think about a hobby that you've never done before. Like if you've never skied, think about skiing. I've never skied in my life and I really don't have a desire to, but like, if you want to shift your mind, just literally think about something that you have no idea what it is. Maybe do some research on it even. Learn about skiing. You're telling your brain, I'm going a different way now. That's all you're doing. You're just disrupting the normal thought pattern. And we've got to train it to focus on something else. And that's really all we have to do. You just do that over and over again. And you want to watch the fact that, I know I'm putting out a video every day and I appreciate people watching, but I want people to implement, make sure you're using these things that I say over and over, use them in your daily life and let me know how you're doing. Comment and let me know, if this is helping or if you've used, done something and it's really helped you, let me know. I'd love to hear, because it's, I used to be a information hoarder. I mean, literally, I would just hoard information, and now I'm finally going into my own archives, and I'm going to create, products and, I don't know, talks and webinars, whatever. I don't know. I'm going to do something with all of it, but you got to at some point decide, I'm going to do something with this stuff instead of just watching video after video. So, and I think there is something to be said about watching something saturating your mind with this stuff. But if you will take just a little piece and saturate your mind with that during your day when you're not watching videos, take some notes like, hey, I'm going to work on this thought today. Maybe I noticed, I really highly encourage you to go within and ask yourself, am I scared of letting go of my pain? Am I scared of grieving my old self so much that I'm holding myself back from this happy life that I could have? And really get in touch with what you're really believing about yourself, because when you really start believing that you're limitless, you will feel it in your bones. You will feel that. And nobody can take that away from you because you just created that within you. Like I just felt it just now when I said that. And literally nobody can take that away from me ever unless I give them permission to take it away. So it's yours to keep forever. Like no one can ever take that away. And you got to remember that you're limitless, which means there are no limits to what you can create and what you can become. You just have to believe that. And don't listen to your old self that's going to try to pull you back. Don't listen to that old self, that inner gangster that's trying to take you down. Don't listen to those people. Go create the new you and say, no, this is my vision for myself now. I'm ready to align my feelings and my thoughts and my behaviors with how this person would act and be. And ask yourself, who am I being? What am I thinking about myself? Because I mean, everybody I talk to, a lot of people I talk to feel unworthy. And if you're feeling unworthy in general, I feel like that is basically saying, I don't feel worthy of happiness. I don't feel worthy of joy. I don't feel worthy of a great relationship. I don't feel worthy of money. I don't feel worthy of just peace in general. And so that is something that you got to get real with yourself. You got to take your mask off, at least with yourself, and get really, really honest and look inside and say, what thoughts am I carrying into my day? What beliefs am I believing during my day? Watch what you're saying when you're out in traffic. Watch what you're saying when somebody pops up in your mind. What do you think about them? Is it kind of a positive or a negative thought? Does it make you feel good or bad? That's how you navigate. You got that internal guidance system in you for a reason. It can help you navigate how you're feeling. And then it's like, keep it simple again. You're feeling good or you're not feeling good. So if you're feeling good, keep going. You're going downstream, woohoo. But if you're not feeling good, you're going upstream and you're trying too hard, and you don't have to do all that. You don't have to force anything. You just allow things to happen. There's no force. There's no control. We have to surrender. And we'll talk about surrender at another time, but more in depth. But just, I call it like, I'm waving my white flag. I give up. I can't do this anymore on my own. I'm just gonna think about something else, and I'm gonna do some breathing. I'm gonna lay down for 5 minutes. Whatever the case is, I'm gonna get a snack. Whatever you need to do to disrupt that thought pattern. That's all you're doing, is disrupting an addiction to an old thought pattern. And then you create a new one. And remember, you're imagining all day long. So use your imagination. Your imagination is the most priceless thing that you own. That is your number one asset. And if you can guide your imagination to the proper place and stay there in the state that you want to live in, everything will conform to you. The world will rearrange itself to you every time, but you have to stay there. You got to let go of that self-doubt. That's what gets us. That's what that unworthiness, all of that is what gets us back into the old self. You're snapping back into that old self. Look at it like that. You're snapping back into it. We want to snap into the old self or the new self. That's where we want to go. So keep all this in mind and start implementing. Maybe if you listen to my videos every day, I love you. Thank you. Please take something that I say, just one little thing, and go implement it. Even if it's the same thing, I kind of say the same things every day right now, and that'll change. But I package it a little differently sometimes. But we've got to have repetition. So pick something out of my videos and try it every day and repeat, repeat, repeat. That is how we learn, and that is how the brain will start to fire and wire new connections. And that is how we will just become the new us, because we're not thinking the same thoughts anymore. We're not creating the same feelings and the same chemical reactions in our bodies anymore. We're teaching our body that it's in a new future, basically. You're just teaching it to feel like it's already there, even though it's not there yet. It'll be there. So you just have to believe, and I know you can do it, and you just keep practicing. If you're going to watch my videos, please, please, please use them. Don't just use them for comfort, really use them for implementing strategies to start to what's it called? Solidify it in your brain. Saturate your mind with this stuff. Repeat, repeat. And you'll get there, I promise you. I promise. Well, I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you'd like to. And please share with somebody who might benefit from this. I love it when I see the shares go up on my numbers. I love that. That is so great. So thank you guys so much. And I will be back tomorrow. Bye.